Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a truly incredible 9-month success story. We're going to look at how 5 different European countries took local history out of dusty textbooks and transformed it into a vibrant digital learning community. If you've ever wondered how to make the past actually resonate with the digital generation, well, you are definitely in the right place. You know, every great project starts with a spark, a really compelling question. And for this one, it was this. How can young people rediscover cultural heritage through the language they speak best today? The educators behind this project realized pretty quickly that the answer wasn't forcing students to just memorize old dates. Instead, it was about blending creativity, technology, and artificial intelligence into a completely new dialect for them to use. Here's a quick look at our agenda for today. 1 vision, 5 countries, learning partner, not a shortcut, on the trail of the past, art meets AI, cultural bonds beyond borders, and finally, success-inspiring new partnerships.
Let's jump right into Part 1, 1 Vision, 5 Countries, Building an International Community.
It all started with founders from Turkey and Romania, Fatma Ozaltan and Alina Bulgario, who were quickly joined by dedicated partners from Croatia, Portugal, and Spain. Now, from a guidance perspective, the teachers didn't just throw the kids into a chat room. They built this collaboration step by step. They started with rigorous online planning to set clear expectations, and then introduced digital icebreakers to help students shatter those initial language barriers. By actively finding cultural similarities, they pulled off something amazing. They transformed 5 separate schools into one unified, cohesive learning family. Moving right along to Section 2, Learning Partner, not a shortcut. Understanding AI before using it. Before anyone generated a single image, the educators laid down some absolutely crucial ground rules. Look, handing students AI without guidance is basically a recipe for disaster. It so easily becomes a lazy shortcut. Instead, they strictly framed AI as a learning partner. The students actually had to take webinars on copyright and responsible prompting first. They learned how to verify historical information and respect cultural authenticity, proving that AI requires genuine human creativity and critical thinking to truly shine. Next up, Section 3, On the Trail of the Past. Discovering cultural heritage. So, before touching any AI tools, students had to get out of their comfort zones. They became on-the-ground local historians. They were out there investigating ancient castles, interviewing people in their communities, and collecting authentic folklore and photographs. It was a total transformation. They took what used to be distant, boring historical facts and turned them into personal, hands-on quests. It was actually so effective that parents noticed their teenagers suddenly taking a massive, totally unprompted interest in local museums. Which brings us to Section 4, Art meets AI, the artistic transformation. This was really the climax of the whole project. Students took all that rich local research they gathered and finally combined it with their new AI prompting skills. Imagine taking the historical monuments from your own hometown and asking, what would this look like if a master painter got a hold of it? They carefully crafted prompts to reimagine their local ruins and historical streets through the surreal lens of Salvador Dali, the Impressionism of Claude Monet, the Cubism of Pablo Picasso, and the iconic styles of Vincent van Gogh and Gustav Klimt. The transformation was just breathtaking, turning old stones into vibrant, expressionist artworks. And this quote brilliantly captures the magic of what they did, a conversation between history and the future. These weren't just quick digital pictures printed out for a passing grade. The students learned that history isn't just some static thing stuck in the past. It's a living, shared cultural memory that they can actively interact with, mold, and carry forward into the digital age. Moving on to Section 5, Cultural Bonds Beyond Borders, Collaborative Products and Celebrations. This shared creative process naturally led to an incredible cross-border digital footprint. Working side by side virtually, students plotted collaborative Google Maps of heritage locations across all 5 countries. They built AI-generated digital galleries, put together interactive online exhibitions, and even celebrated each other's national holidays together. They were building materials that honor their distinct local identities while simultaneously celebrating their deeply shared European cultural bonds. And the educators tracked the hard data to back up this success story. Through rigorous pre-tests and post-tests, they saw massive improvements across the board. Cultural awareness shifted into a much deeper appreciation for their shared European identity. Digital literacy blossomed into confident, responsible AI use. But honestly, best of all, basic communication evolved into genuine cross-border friendships, proving that when guided properly, creativity has absolutely no language barrier. Finally, let's look at Section 6, Success Inspiring New Partnerships, a Legacy Beyond eTwinning. So the bottom line is that this 9-month journey was so successful, nobody wanted it to end with just a simple farewell Zoom meeting. Instead, the consortium took all the trust and the teaching methodologies they had just built and used them to develop a brand new Erasmus Plus small-scale partnership proposal. It's a perfect example that meaningful, well-guided collaboration doesn't just create a temporary school project, it leaves a sustainable legacy that reaches far beyond its original timeline. Preserving the past really is one of the most inspiring ways to build the future. History is out there waiting to be reimagined, not just as a collection of old facts, but as a real foundation for innovation. So I'll leave you with this. How will you use technology to create your own collaborative story? What international bonds will you build next? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.